Hello, everyone. I am Randy Anderson. I'm the Modexus Chief Operations Officer, and I had just some things that I wanted to share with you. Most of you that see and hear this may be Modexus advocates already. Thank you. We appreciate you. If you're a customer listening in, we appreciate you as well. Maybe you're considering taking the next step and joining us with our affiliate marketing opportunity and sharing what we have to the world. We're bringing change to the industry. We'd love to have you. Maybe you aren't a part of Modexus yet, but there's something in this presentation I hope that will resonate with you, whether it's something you can apply to your everyday life, or maybe you're looking at an opportunity and trying to find the right opportunity. And we hope you'll consider what we have here with our company. So, you'll see the title, the shoe. You're probably thinking, okay, where's he going with this? But just hang in here with me. I think you'll appreciate this. We talk often about the what, the how, and the why. But today we're going to focus on the what and the how, because I really personally feel that it's a company's responsibility to dial in what and then how. The why, I believe, is a personal definition. We have corporate whys. I have my personal whys, but each one of our advocates, or if you're a business owner of any type, you have your own whys. And so sometimes they align, sometimes they're more loosely aligned, but I think that's a personal thing that people have to deal with. But today, the what and the how. So I want to share a quick story. I'm not a movie buff by any means, but I did take some time this weekend and watched a movie. And the movie is titled Air, A Story of Greatness. And if you are interested, I believe you can find this on Prime or Amazon Prime. I thought, like probably a lot of people, okay, this is a story about Michael Jordan. And I happen to like sports. I like basketball. So I definitely had my interest, but I couldn't have been more wrong, because what this really is a story about Nike, the company, and more importantly, the failing basketball division of Nike. So this was back in the 80s. I know most of us today think, what, Nike basketball failing? Well, yes, that was definitely the case. They were on the verge actually of being shut down, believe it or not, by then CEO and founder of Nike, Phil Knight. But they made a decision to pivot into greatness, and the focus was on how. The real story here is how they were doing business in the industry at that time. So Converse, Adidas ruled the landscape in the basketball shoe apparel industry at that point. They were the giants in the industry, and it was just a battle every year when you had the NBA draft and you had the new talent emerging and going into the NBA. You had your existing stars in the NBA at that time, the Larry Birds of the world, the Magic Johnsons rather, and Michael Jordan was new onto the scene, and everybody wanted to sign him. The big boys, the Converse and Adidas, they all had the shiny objects. They were willing to pony up the money. They were willing to do all of the things, but they failed in signing Michael Jordan. And as we know today, that's one of the biggest fails in the history of athletics. I think without a doubt, it changed the landscape of basketball, it changed the landscape of the NBA, and a whole lot of other things for that matter. But why did they fail? Well, they were too big. They were cumbersome. But I think most importantly, they were consumed by their own success. That's all they could focus on, is what they had always done, and that they were it, basically, for lack of better words. They were consumed by their own success, and they lost the ability to focus on how they were doing what they were doing, and even more so, the ability to pivot and make that adjustment and make that change that would allow them to sign one of the greatest athletes of our time, possibly ever, right, in Michael Jordan. Nike however, on the other hand, in the failing basketball division, they were a moment of have to. It was a moment in time where they had to make changes. And they were willing to pivot. And when they became willing to pivot, it opened the door to allow them to grow. A quote out of the movie I thought was really interesting, and it has some bearing, and you'll see where I'm going this. A lot of you, again, saw the title of the shoe, and you're thinking, okay, where's he going with this? But the quote is this: a shoe is just a shoe. Its dedication and commitment to growth comes from the greatness of the person in the shoe, and that makes all the difference. A shoe is just a shoe, but the dedication and commitment of the person in the shoe makes all the difference. It's not what you're doing, but it's how you're doing it. They were willing to make that philosophical pivot. And of course, we know what happened from there. So how does this apply to Modexus, you ask? Well, I think there's a lot of ways that it applies for sure. At Modexus, we made a commitment to pivot. And this happened in the beginning of the company, but we continued that pivot about a year and a half in. The story of Modexus is not what we're doing, but it's how we're doing it. At Modexus, it isn't about the shoe, or in our case, the products. So many people, they make it about just the products, the shoe. But here at Modexus, it truly is about the people that are using the products. That makes all the bigger difference, makes the big difference. And that's the story, the bigger picture, the how Modexus is changing the industry. It's you. Every one of you that are here as an advocate, it's you. You are changing the industry, whether you realize it or not. But good to great will be determined if you're willing to make that pivot to that part of the story. We're building something that is changing the industry. And I want all of you to be very proud of just that. Our talented, passionate advocates, all of you. When you share how Modexus is changing the industry, you're committing to not being the shoe. You're committing then to telling the whole story, because people will be attracted to the whole story, because people want change. There are tens of thousands of people out here that love our industry, but it's the what of the industry that has caused the problems. The how we're doing it is that pivot and the answer that tens of thousands of people are looking for. Will you tell the whole story, or will you just be another shoe? Our people are committed to their customers, all of you. You guys are the change. On the corporate side, it's our commitment to people, to our advocates. Advocates, it's your commitment to your advocate team members and your customers that makes the difference. On our side of the as far as the corporate side, it's our commitment to excellence without fail. Customer service, quality control, growth materials, product education, and so much more. Our online community, our logistics, I could name several categories. Our commitment to world-class products is certainly a part of the equation. We don't cut corners. We have a commitment to build the very best. And we've done that with 5 products, soon to be 6, and then 7. And we're not going to let down. We're always looking on how to build the very best for you. And as many of you've learned, that's not always the case in the industry, because companies get hung up on what they do, not how they do it. A commitment to world-class community, building a culture that everyone can feel like they're a part of and participate in and grow in and do so safely. What about do no harm? A commitment to provide a do no harm environment, both with products and our opportunity. We talk about do no harm with products, but do we talk about do no harm with our community? A commitment to excellence, a commitment from what to how, a commitment to build a fair and balanced income stream opportunity that eliminates all the self-serving greed and gotchas that plague the system. Those of you that are participating, you're seeing that. The Friday ding, as we like to call it. Long story short here. The CEO and founder of Nike, Phil Knight, after the deal, he had some heartburn. He said, I just shook up the industry as we know it. I'm going against the giants of the industry. I'm creating change that, I could, it's sink or swim moment here. They said, expletive. There's some colorful language in the movie, but look past that. Look at the bigger picture here. I made the decision. We're going forward. Hey, maybe this new brand, this new person in the shoe, Air Jordan. How many of us have heard that? Maybe it does $3 million in revenue the first year. Well, long story short, that pivot from what to how, first year, $162 million in revenue. And I think most of us know the rest of the story. But I think it's an important story. And if you're taking time to listen to this, I hope you're really soaking this in and understanding. Go watch the movie. Go watch the movie, definitely. If you want to carve out some time, I think you'll see exactly what I mean. Phil Knight made a decision as the founder and then CEO of Nike to disrupt and change his industry for the better. And that, my friends, became the story. At Modexus, we're so blessed. We have a CEO and founder of this magnitude. He's willing to make those changes. He's willing to create the pathway where we can make those changes as a community, all of us together, and change the industry for the better. You, all of you, are the industry changing community, our advocates. I'm grateful for each and every one of you, and I'm thankful that you are here. And I want you to really understand and embrace that you are in a position to change this industry that we all love. You are making a difference. You are changing lives, and this is magnified when you commit to focusing on the bigger picture, not the what, but the how. You've made a commitment to be more than the shoe. Or maybe you're listening to this and you haven't made that commitment yet. And I want to challenge you to make that commitment to be more than the shoe. Tell more than the product story. Commit to greatness and be the guy or the gal in the shoe. I want to bring our logo back up in closing. And I think this is really important. Modexus, we see this logo often. You see it everywhere. But I want you to take time and really reflect on 3 words at the bottom. When we designed this logo in the beginning, this was not by accident. People, products, prosperity. I didn't say people, products, and prosperity. People, products, prosperity. Here at Modexus, it's about the people. It's about all of you. We are committed. We show up every day, and we stay focused not on what we do, but how we are doing it, pivoting to create that change in the industry that is needed. It's about the people. That's why we do that. Now, I said why does come into play here, but that's why we do that. It's about each and every one of you. Products, it's the second word in the middle. And this is where I think a lot of people, we lose direction. Products are the vehicle. in which we make that change. It's the conduit for that change. But it starts with people. All of you that say, I want to be not the product, but I want to be the person sharing the product, which leads to the third word, and that's prosperity. And prosperity can look different for a lot of different people. Maybe financial prosperity, maybe health prosperity. I think prosperity also comes with those that give and that share. And that's the community that we're building here at Modexus. People, products, prosperity. In that order, they flow in that order. And I don't want anybody to ever take that for granted. So this was an opportunity today to share with all of you something that was on my heart. I'm glad I got to watch that movie. I don't watch a lot of movies, but it had an impact, and it drove home a message that I know is key in what we're doing here at Modexus. We're not consumed with what we've done in the past, who we are, our legacy. We're consumed with the people and providing a how we do things that is life-changing for all of you. Modexus, people, products, and prosperity. So for the right people, you know, sometimes I think about, okay, I hope this message resonates with everyone. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, but I know it's going to fall on the right ears and the right people are going to hear it. And if you're not a part of our advocate community yet, I hope you will consider the message shared, reach out to us or reach out with whoever shared Modexus with you. And let's see if Modexus is a good fit for you. So thank you for listening. Again, this is Randy Anderson. I'm the Chief Operations Officer at Modexus, also one of our founders. And as long as I have anything to say about this at all, we will always be focused on the how we were doing this and how we were building this for each and every one of you. Thank you for listening.